Welcome back to Seal Beam Rally Team. I am Tyler. This episode is sponsored by Clark's Corvair Parts. When I bought my Corvair, I was told that the engine runs and the clutch engages. I did verify that the engine runs, but as we look down, the throw-up bearing doesn't actually turn. The clutch looks pretty good, but it's pretty old. The flywheels, or the pressure plate's pretty rusty, and oh god, hantavirus. Of course, it's got that riveted flywheel that the Corvairs are known for, so let's replace all that. Some kind viewers have alerted me to a mistake I made in the last video, and these 4 bolts down here are not supposed to get washers, because apparently the flywheel will contact them if they do. It's a pretty tight tolerance, but let's pull those things off. We'll remove the washers, and I can actually probably put those original washers back up where they belong up here and have them all matched. Not that it matters. Got a new pilot bushing here, so I guess we're going to do the bed thing again. What's going on here? It's not tight enough or what? A couple days have passed. I've been really busy doing other stuff, but we got a puller here, a pilot bearing puller. And it's normally supposed to have 2 of these little arms. One goes here, but the pilot bearing is the pilot bushing is too small. So I saw a little YouTube short on this. He didn't really do the whole process, just kind of described it, but I figured it out. If you punch this pin out on this side, you can remove this, and then you can just use the one side to pull with. So we're going to try this. I got it adapted to my slide hammer. Let's go. Gotta really hold it sideways. Oh, it's so close. Come on. Got it. Alright, well, that did do quite a bit of damage to the back of the pilot bushing, but that's fine because we have the new Clark's one here. I'm gonna go clean the extra bread and grease out of here, and we can pop that new one back in. I'm also going to reassemble my rental puller and give it back to Napa. The instructions say that the flat end goes in first. This one has 3 little holes in it. If that helps you identify the slanted rounded edges to make it easier to install the input shaft. We're going to follow the instructions. Pop this in here, and it's supposed to be slightly recessed. This thing not going in. Was hammering a little bit off center, I think, unfortunately. Okay, that's fine. Well, got her all the way in. Just tapped it in a little bit. It was just a little tight, so I don't know. It's not shouldn't be tight like that, but I don't know what to do about it really. It definitely pulled all the grease off the shaft here when I tapped it in. Geez, that is way tight. See if we can put it in again. Maybe easier this time. Get a film of grease on it. Goes in a lot easier the second time. Okay. Comes out. Get a film of grease. No hammer. Just handwork. Perfect. Okay, that's kind of, I guess, like reaming itself out. Now I can feel the air pressure too. Awesome. Okay. Because this does need to spin in here sometimes when the engine's running, so I don't want it to be too tight and wearing in there. But that is why it's a bushing. That should be good enough. It's at least good enough I can slide it in, slide it out again. Yeah, we gotta go forward. Alright, I got the right box. Let's dig into the Clark's parts here. We have a clutch here. The original clutches were 900 pounds. This is, I believe, 1,200 pounds. I couldn't get a higher rated clutch. They weren't in stock at the moment, but that should be just fine. It's upgraded from the original. This is the solid flywheel upgrade. The original ones were riveted together, and I'm told that over time the rivets end up loosening up, and then you get a clattering, and you have to pull the entire drivetrain out, so I figured that'd be non-ideal. The car originally has these spacers that go behind the flywheel, and with the solid one you don't need it because they build them the correct thickness from the Clark's factory, the way they didn't at the GM factory. Let's take this flywheel over, we'll throw it on the car, and then we can get assembling the pressure plate assembly. This thing is heavy and unexpectedly slippery. Alright. Must go this way. I'm assuming a little oil on the back side of the flywheel won't hurt anything. What we want to watch out for is the oil on the front side. Alright, we are all torqued up. Next is the clutch cover assembly, and this comes with the pressure plate installed. The manual for the car talks about installing the pressure plate inside the clutch cover, but Clark's did it for us, so I don't have to worry about it. They do have a multi-kit if you want to buy everything all at once. I think I was an idiot again and didn't do that, but definitely do that if you're doing this, because it can save you some money and some effort trying to find all the parts. One part number and you get all the parts. It's pretty handy if you can make it happen for yourself. I'm also going to save my boxes here because I have to send my cores back for my core deposit refund. Here's our pressure plate surface, our fingers, kind of spring fingers, and then our ring gear. Pretty sweet. The thing looks really nice, and I can't wait to feel how it actually feels in the car. Alright, so we want to throw our brake clean on here. Check this out. Our installer tool can just stay in there. Duh. I'll put that in like that. And we got that to fit, right? Yep. And then this can go over that. I had purchased these washers and I wasn't sure if I needed to use them. I contacted Clark's customer support and they let me know that these washers are used between the pressure plate and flywheel. Only on the turbo cars they have a higher strength pressure plate that needs a little bit extra space. So I can put these away, I don't need them, and I can go ahead and torque the pressure plate down. That's going to take 15 to 20 foot-pounds, so we're going to go ahead with that right now. The transaxle needs to go back on now, and I don't want to lift that very far. I don't have an engine hoist, so we're going to use the block and tackle here, try to lower this thing down. Let's get the table out of the way first. A while ago the table kind of stanced itself, so it's hella flush now. It's not going to actually turn here, so I kind of have to pick it up and drag it out, but I think that'll work. Okay. Done. Looked back at my photos and the engine has been on that welding cart for 9 months, almost to the day. But it can't be empty for long because we got to put this transmission up here, get the clutch lever installed and the throwout bearing before it goes on the engine. Now this thing is seriously heavy. And I might weigh it, but I don't really want to. Let's see. All we gotta do here is give our clutch lever a little bit of lube here. Get a little lube on here too, because I know it does pivot on this. And then you can see that the distance between these is the same as the distance in this gap here, so we're going to slide that on. And a little bit too far. And then it pivots on there as it moves up and down the shaft. Speaking of the shaft, that needs lube too. And then our pivot ball gets a squirt. Just put a little bit under our clip here. And then that should slide right on. Right? Should slide right on. Oh, that's the problem. Put this on first, huh? Line everything up. Come on now. There we go. Beautiful. It's about 4 o'clock. It's getting a little bit darker and we're hoping for rain today. It hasn't rained here for real in like 6 weeks probably. So I'm hoping that we get something, but I'd like to get that transmission on before that happens. Let's drop that thing down and we can try to line it up into the engine. Convenient carry handle. You want to drop that in your foot. I guess the first order of business with this input shaft is I gotta lube the tip before I stick it in. And slide it in. Cool. See if I can line that up well enough. I doubt it. It's a 3/8/16, so I'm just running a thread chaser through like I have on a lot of other stuff. Just make sure I have a good clean hole to go through. I cleaned up the bolts as well, and they're in pretty rough condition. A couple of them are pretty rounded off, so I think I'm gonna go actually buy new bolts. So I wrote down the measurements for them so I know what I'm getting. This one doesn't want to go in. Why is that? How much crap is going to come out of this one? What do you think? Kind of a lot. Alright. So I've tried to line up the shaft here with what it looks like in there, but we'll see how it goes. Come on. Remember we have that super tight pilot bearing in there. You gotta be kidding me. It's 100% humidity, sweating like a pig. I just installed this thing without pressing record. I'm so sorry. I had to block it up a lot, stuff it in, and then, oh my god, I'm tired. Stuck this thing in the starter hole, get it lined up, and I was able to get one of them started. Anyway, just transmission install stuff. It's on now. Let's put the starter in, and I think that might be it for today. Well, it's finally raining outside. I guess we should test the starter. I looked at a little video online to see if I could figure out how this works, because I'm not super sure, but I think I can figure it out. Okay, I think what we do is put that on there, and I think we test that. Nothing's happening. How about that? Oh, haha, that's it. I guess our starter works. At least the motor works. Let's see if it'll hit the solenoid. Perfect. What if we do both of those? Can we get the clamp on both of them at once? Oh my gosh. burn something out. Well, now I fucking did it. I confirmed it worked, and then I blew it up. I was trying to get the solenoid to engage and the starter to turn at the same time, but I did confirm that both turn individually. I may come back later on, maybe tomorrow, and see if I can make that thing turn again, but that might be a story for a different day. Need to get some split lock washers for that, but this will hold it on for now and block off the hole at least. Mickey, what's going on? I'm trying to do an outro. Come on over. I've got a lot of good comments, and I appreciate you guys giving me support and suggestions. I've got a lot of things to do with this. Not everything's 100% obviously, but I got to keep with it and keep putting it together so I can drive it. Next episode on the Corvair, we are going to go through shrouds, so I want to give you something cool to look forward to because I'm pretty excited about it too. I got the valve covers color matched to the car. It's supposed to be a silver blue car, and the rest of it's going to be black, but I just thought it'd be fun to put original factory color on this. So it's gonna be pretty cool looking. I may do some other things in this color. I think the driving lights are going to be color matched to this as well, because the powder coater obviously still has the powder. So, more fun things to go. Appreciate you tuning in, and come on back next time. We're going to do all the shroud stuff, and yeah, I know the lower shrouds under the cylinders have to go on with the pushrod tubes out. I forgot it. We're going to get to it, don't worry. Thanks again to Clark's Corvair Parts for sponsoring this video. We're going to repackage and return our cores for the clutch and all that stuff, so make sure you do that. Thank you to Clark's for keeping these cars alive with the rebuilding services and all that stuff they do. Go check them out. Press on.